Welcome everybody.
Hello, how
Oh,
you
look,
doing?
I'm good. We actually got a couple of familiar faces. Okay, well, I am going to get started. Let me share my screen. So, this is part three of our career fair series. And this one is all about submitting your application. We have a couple of staff online today. Myself, I'm Catherine Shorten, and I'm an internship manager. I've been working here a few years, and I have managed, I don't know, three or four different managed or helped on three or four different of our internship projects. We also have Stephanie. Stephanie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie. I'm the senior manager of the internship programs. I've also been here with Environment for the Americas for about 3 years and also been involved in several of the programs. So I'm excited for another year and hopefully, to see your applications, get to know you more.
Okay. So here at Environments for the Americas, our mission has not changed. It is to connect young people and early career professionals to nature and birds, and really just inspire the next generation of conservationists. We collaborate with federal and non governmental agencies and organizations across the Americas to promote bird conservation, careers in natural resources, and collaborative efforts to protect the natural world. Our team is quite grand and diverse. It's just two of us on here, but so many people are working behind the scenes or laterally to help these programs be a success and all the work that we do. We This is our internship programs team, but we also have a wider team that works in more bird conservation. Environments for the Americas is the home and host of World Migratory Bird Day. This is our art for 2025. Quickly, we will have new art for 2026. And we're trying to get to the place where 100% of our interns uh, participate in some way in with World Migratory Bird Day. Okay, the topics to be covered this evening, we're going to talk about who can apply. We're going to talk about our application deadline. We have a couple of tips to help make your application stand out, and we're prepared to answer all of your questions. So let's get started. Who can apply? So we align our hiring process to our partner's goal, which is to connect young people, professionals to the Department of Interior or whichever department or federal agency that we're working with. And for most of these programs, there is an age requirement. You must be at least 18 and you cannot be older than 30 at the start of the internship unless you're a veteran, and then you can be up to 35. You also have to be a citizen of the United States or a permanent resident. So those are the people who qualify to apply for these programs. We have had, sometimes we get programs that may not have the age requirement, but for the most part, all of the ones that we have currently do have that age requirement. So the application deadline. It's generally the last day of January or like that first week, but you need to look at each position. When we have these positions up, there could be 30, 40, 50 different positions. So my advice is to just double and triple check and don't leave it to chance. Don't prepare to apply January 5th. February 5th, and the deadline happened to be January 31st. Don't wait, don't delay. But generally, it's about the last week of January. Okay, we're going to look at the actual application shortly, but you need to answer all the questions on the application. And we always have the question of, why were you interested in this position? Um, I want to read this weak example because it could sound good to some. This one says, I'm very passionate about nature and working with animals. I think this internship would be a great opportunity for me to gain experience and learn more about conservation. I enjoy being outside and working with people, and I believe I would be a good fit for this position. So, you've answered the question with a couple of sentences, but why this is weak is it's generic. It could apply to anything. Okay, now I said no mention of your corner head because that is one of the positions that we will look at when we go to the application. There's no evidence of education, outreach, public interaction. Your passion is not stated or demonstrated. You really need to stand out. These positions can be quite competitive. So let me show you a stronger example. Okay, I'm applying for the Education and Outreach intern position at Yaquina Head Outstanding Natural Area because of my interest in coastal ecosystems and public education. As an environmental studies student, I have assisted with K-12 education programs and led small group presentations on local ecology. I am particularly interested in tide pool ecology, seabird conservation, which aligns with Yaquina Head's education programming and seabird monitoring efforts. I have experience working with the public in fast paced settings and am comfortable delivering presentations and engaging visitors of all ages. I'm also proficient in Spanish and have used these skills to support outreach and educational activities. This internship aligns with my goal of pursuing a career in environmental education or public land management. I know that sounds long, but these positions are generally very competitive, and you want to make sure that you have read this application position, you know what it is, and then you can basically align your skills to the position. So why this is strong, it names the site and the position. It references specific responsibilities from the posting and shows public facing and education experience. Those things are excellent. Later, we're going to get into maybe some answers if you don't have any um, formal experience, because you may not, you may be more entry level, but there are still ways to align you. So let's take a second. Hold on. Because I feel like I've talked a lot and there could be already some questions. Steph, did you see anything that we need to address before we move forward?
No, the only question so far was just about the previous session and whether it was recorded, and it was recorded, and it should be on our website under the internship programs tab.
Okay. Okay, but does anybody else have a question before we go to the website to look at our website? No, we're good. Okay, for sure. Okay, if my computer is being friendly. Okay, this is our internship landing page. Can y'all see it? Because I can't see y'all. All
Yes, we
right,
can see it. Yeah.
great. So under internships, you want to scroll down, scrolling to see what is posted. Okay. That's sorry, y'all. Soon this will be crazy, right? Right now, we only have some monarch research positions and this Yaquina head positions, but possibly by the end of this week, more or the end of next week, it'll be full of other positions. Steph, do you know when the positions will be? Do you know like exactly when they'll be up?
Yes, so Fish and Feathers is gonna be posted on Friday, as well as Let's Go Birding. And then the Latino Heritage Internship Program that won't be posted for a couple of weeks more.
Okay. Okay. So this is the link to the education and outreach intern at Yaquina Head. So we click on a position and we wait for technology. Um, you'll see a map, so you'll be able to tell the location. As you can see, with all the blue in the water, this is a coastal position. Um, has a lot of details, the start and end. This isn't a summer internship. It's a 24-week position starting March 23rd. Housing is provided. You can see the weekly stipend and what is included here. Also, the position description. It is so important to make sure that you read it. Um, I was recently recruiting for positions at Golden Gate Recreation Area, and we had so many applicants for each position. We had to close it early. So, my advice is to read thoroughly and apply early. So, you want to click here when you're ready to fill out the application. And again, it's going to still take you here where you're seeing the position description, the responsibilities, the qualifications. Some of these things they say you actually need, and some of these things are listed as a plus. And then again with the application. So you go in and put in your basic information. You fill it all the way out. To be eligible, you must meet the following qualifications. Here's where it's like, are you between 18 and 30 or up to 35 if you're a veteran? You know, are you a US citizen or permanent resident? Um, a college student, a graduate, or have graduated. And we want your institution. Um, have you completed your degree? All of that is important. Semesters, take your time and do not skip the questions. Enter the information that's added. Don't be afraid about your GPA. This is information. It's not necessarily going to um, take you away, I mean, from the position. So be honest. List your coursework. A lot of students or young professionals don't list this, and you could have something that really endears you to the position. Somebody may see something, oh, you took some GIS, and that could really help with this position or be an added benefit to the position. Make sure you list any names of scholarships that you may have received, um, previous jobs, other internships, volunteer hours, student groups. All of those things could have transferable skills that could help you show up for this position. List your references. Almost always references are checked. So make sure you put people that will respond when the supervisors reach out to them um, for information about you. And here's the famous question. Why are you interested in this position? How will it support your education or your educational or career goals? Take your time and answer that question thoughtfully. I think that's the most important thing that you can do to stand out for these positions. Upload your resume. We also need those academic transcripts. Let us know if you've applied before. We could have some information about you. And this is the voluntary information about your demographic information. Then, what is good is that this one application could support for 3 positions. So I think if you're answering that question, what's my question again? Why are you interested in this position and how will it support your educational or career goals? Answer that question with your top position in mind, but you can choose 2 other positions and it could be in different programs. Like maybe you're applying for this your Quinn ahead, but you also see um, a Latino Heritage Program position that you're interested in, that you would like to be considered for, or a Fish and Feathers or a Monarch. You don't have to enter an application multiple times. It's better to just list other options that you would be interested in versus completing this whole application 3 or 4 different times. And even at your interview, you can tell us that you would be interested in other positions. So, any questions about navigating that? Again, I feel like I've said a lot of words. No? So, Rod, have you been on the website before?
Yes, I have. But before I was on here before and it only showed the Yakin ahead one and now I see the Monarch ones. I was on it right before the call.
Okay, so did you like I sometimes when you log in, it'll ask you where you are. Did you put any information in that?
No, like
Because
locate like geographic information, like
yeah,
or using your current location. No, I did not. It kind of just
okay.
shows me the map and will show like um that there's like positions in Texas and then Oregon.
Okay. So I don't put any information because usually if you put in Texas, it'll only show you what's in Texas. Or if you
Okay,
put in something, so make sure you leave that completely blank. Um, and that'll help you see what all is available.
good to know. Thank you so much.
We
You're
have
welcome.
Trisha.
Patricia, you had a
Hi.
question?
Yes. I was just wondering that you mentioned putting the information and it can be for multiple programs. Would it be okay there to put a generic, um, why you would want to go into the program, or would you want to make it specifically for the top program you want?
I think it's important to stand out for the top position that you want. And so we have an email that will be listed, and you can email some more information. But our applicant tracking system, it looks crazy in the background if you have applied 3, 4 times. And so, best practices would be to go for your top position, but list other options and say that you're open to be considered, because sometimes we know something you don't. You may have your top position may be so popular, and this other position, because we have 50 of them online, may not be getting as much love, but you have a lot of qualifications, and we will reach out. We'll reach out and say, hey, we see that you were interested in this. This is kind of near here and has these. Would you be considered? So I would trust the process and be specific for your top position.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did we have another question, Amaya?
We have um another person who is having issues not seeing the positions available. Do you want to maybe show them how to make sure that your address isn't showing up?
So, let's see if I can do that. I lose my website. No, now I'm in Trackstar. Wait a minute. Let me start over with a clean one. Yeah, technical skills is not high on my list. I have way more people skills. Okay, so who was having the problems? You started at
So I
the
think you want to,
internships landing page?
yeah, and if you go scroll down to where the map shows, I know exactly what's happening because it happens to me every single time I go onto this page. It automatically inputs my address and then it only
Uh
what's around.
Here
Yeah, right.
under
So on location, some on the search bar is where it says keywords and then next to it it says location. Um, do you see it, Catherine? Do you want to hover? Yeah, right.
yeah, so keywords and
Yeah.
location here.
Yeah. So a lot of times it will automatically input your current address that you're in and then only show you positions that are near that area. So you want to make sure that you like clear it and click
Clear
on
it out.
search
Yeah.
jobs and then it will look right and show you everything.
Is that helping, Patricia?
I think it was Carlos.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me, but it is helpful anyways.
Okay. Okay, so let's go back because I want to talk about if you don't have all of this experience, then what we do. Okay, so again, it is this question. It's really the only like question we have. Um, you know. So Okay, so if you don't have any formal experience, right? So you might want to be like, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I do not have much experience yet, but I'm eager to learn. I'm really interested in working outdoors. I think this internship will help me gain skills and experience, and I'm willing to work hard and try my best. That sounds good, right? You're coming with the energy. You're enthusiastic, but it's weak because it focuses on what you lack. That's not what you want to draw the attention to. It's vague and non-specific. You're not talking about your transferable skills, and it doesn't connect to the actual duties of this position. So, a stronger one, uh, more words. Okay. Although I'm early in my career, I'm applying for this interpretation internship because I'm interested in public education and working on public lands. I have experience interacting with the public through customer service and volunteer roles where I regularly communicated information clearly and assisted diverse audiences. In school and community settings, I've worked with youth and peers, helped explain concepts, supported group activities. These experiences have helped me develop strong communication skills, adaptability, and confidence speaking with others. I'm excited about the opportunity to support visitor services, assist with educational programs, and learn how interpretation is used to connect people to natural and cultural resources. This internship is an important step toward my goal of gaining hands on experience in environmental education or public service. So, I mean, I love that, right? Because it does not apologize for lack of experience. It highlights your transferable skills, communication, public interaction, teamwork. It connects past experience to interpretation duties, and it shows readiness and professionalism. That's what we have to do. There are so many things that are transferable skills. So, yes, I love enthusiasm, but also I need to be able to, if you're comfortable speaking in public, that's a transferable skill. Many people are not. Um, you understand that you need to have this, that, and the other, and it tells me that you know what this job is, and you're ready, right? So that's what you wanna do there. Also, my other biggest tip is to read blogs from past interns. Blogs help applicants understand the daily duties and expectations. It can help you learn the language of interpretation and outreach. You see real examples of projects and events, and it helps you better tailor your application materials. I have done numerous interviews, and people often they show up and they have applied for so many positions that they're unsure what they're interviewing for. Um, they don't show real enthusiasm for it because you don't know what we do here at Environments for the Americas. You may not know what the site does. You know, that type of preparation can really help you stand out. And our blogs are so good. You might can find out if this position is for you. I mean, this young lady is working with some snakes. That may not be for everybody. That may not be for everybody. But after reading her blog, I feel like maybe I could work with snakes. She made it exciting. So many pictures, so much description about what's going on, and that can help you come interview time. So this is the page. We already went to the page, but you want to make sure you go there. And like Stephanie said, you want to make sure that there's no location entered. so you can see the entire map and what's available on that map. And then, yes, you click internships, and then you'll be able to scroll down and see all of the positions available. Right now, it's just a few, but shortly it'll be so many. And you might want to keep you a spreadsheet so you can know which ones had what that you were interested in to help when it's time to apply. Yes, click apply here. Yes, 3 positions in any program. It doesn't have to be like all the 3 that you want to do in the Latino Heritage Program, 3 that you want to do in the Fish and Feathers Program. Pick your top 3, and that's enough. That's enough to stand out and do an interview. And if a program manager sees something in you from the interview, they may have something different for you to be considered for. But before, let me get out of here. Before we talk about our different programs, I do want to make sure we don't have new questions.
I had
Mhm.
some questions regarding the application. It's more of a general question, but I have had the chance to apply for to the program like 3 years in a row,
Mhm.
and I was just wondering what advice can I receive from your part in order to, turn in a better application. I've had the opportunity to interview once, but never had the pleasure to be chosen. So,
And is your name Andrea? Is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Okay. So, when at the end, when you didn't get picked, did you ever ask for like feedback at that particular time?
Back then, I did not think about it. It was my first time doing internships. Now I know better, but have not had the chance to interview once again.
Got it. So it would be easier if you had gotten feedback at that time. But, we have a lot of technology in this day and age, and I would recommend maybe downloading the position that you're interested in and uploading it to, your AI of choice, ChatGPT, Gemini, and your resume, and asking it, how closely aligned are you? Sometimes that can help. You also can email the program. So Latino Heritage has their own website. You can email, and I would say, hey, I've applied for this a couple of times. Could somebody give me some direction? Or whichever program. Fish and Feathers also has a email, and then we also have like info. Um, our managers are really personable, and if you seriously have questions, I would say reach out.
I like to add a little bit too. Sometimes we, if we interviewed you, we thought that on paper you looked good for that position. So that would give you a clue that your resume is looking good. Um, but we tend to send the 3 top candidates to the second round. So only 3. And that's really hard. Sometimes we interview more people that we really, really like, but pick only 3 to move forward. So maybe it wasn't like you interviewed really well, but we just like had other people that were maybe just slightly better suited, had like one more thing that made them, better for that position. So, um, maybe it was that. But yeah, I would encourage you to just go for it again. If you get another interview, do ask, and they could let you know if it was like something that you're missing or maybe just the way you presented yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It is very competitive, very often very competitive. And like I said, at the previous group of positions, we had to cut it off early. It was just so many good people that didn't get an opportunity. And that's just nothing on them. They just did not get an opportunity. It was just too many good people. So you want to do your best to stand out and ask for feedback. Um, Now I guess I want to, unless there was another question about the program, we just kind of wanted to go through the different programs and give you a little bit of details.
I
Somebody have a
wanted to
question?
add, Catherine, just quickly that
Oh, sure.
I'm
I
here to
did not know
support
you
the
were here.
team. Yeah, that we don't make the final selection either. We send candidates to the supervisors and they decide who they will interview next and who to select. So it may be that Andrea did get to the supervisor, but the supervisor was looking for certain details, just details, because they usually tell us what they need, what they want, what they're looking for. And we do send over 3 to 5 candidates after interviewing, but the final selection is the supervisor. So we are sorry to see some of you not get selected because we know how good you are. But like I said, supervisors have something on their mind.
That is true. Shelda, you should introduce yourself, just so people can know if they may want to reach out to you
Well,
or they could enter.
yeah, I won't turn on my camera. I got sick after a travel coming home. But I'm Shelda Diaz Mendez. I am a manager for Environment for the Americas in the Latino Heritage Internship Program and with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Individual Placement Interns. And I will be one of those reviewing applications for LHIP and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service applications. And then, yeah, like the process that we're explaining is after you apply, we do go over every little detail in those applications, looking for the perfect fit for these positions, because if you're selected, we win and you win. So it's a win-win situation for me. I think so. That if we get the great candidate, that the position will have a great candidate. We did our job. So that's it. Yeah. And any questions, you can send them to the program email.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let me get back into it so we can finish on time. Okay, well, first up, we do have the Latino Heritage Program. Shelda, would you like to tell us more about it, or Stephanie?
Sure, I can mention the Latino Heritage Internship Program is one for folks that identify as Latinos, and it covers a lot of disciplines, but the majority of projects are going to be around cultural or natural resource interpretation. We have some other positions that are more like museum collection, curator. Um, and there are some nuances there, and each position is sometimes very different from the other one. So for this ones, definitely take your time, sit down with a cup of coffee and read through each one. Um, but what is the same is that the pay is 688 per week for PLC. Those are going to be either 11 weeks or 20 weeks long. PLC stands for Public Land Corps Non-Competitive Hiring Authority. It's a special authority that gives you a leg up to having a permanent position within a federal agency. And then we also have a few, much less. Well, we may have like around 20 PLC positions. We'll have a few that are direct hiring authority. These are more rigorous positions that are only 12 weeks long. And because of that, the pay is a little bit higher. So it's 768 a week. And you will know that a position is DHA because it will say in the title, like, interpretation intern, and then in parentheses, DHA. So you know you're applying for that. A requirement for a DHA position is that you are enrolled as a student by the time the internship ends. So if you're graduating, That's not a position you want to look for. You want to look at the PLC ones. Then another aspect is that everybody gets a $200 field gear stipend. So this is for like additional things that you might need during your internship that we didn't provide. You can purchase it with the gear stipend. And then we have our require career and leadership workshop that typically happens towards the end of the internship at around like 11 weeks into the internship. It always takes place in Washington, D.C. This year we did do it virtual, so we're not sure next year if it's either virtual or in person, but it's required participation. And the interns present on the work that they've done. So you would do an oral presentation or a poster presentation. And I see some questions coming up. So I will, do I have time for questions right now, Catherine?
Yes, I think it's best. Answer the
Okay.
questions now.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi. So you had mentioned about just with PLC and DHA, when you say
Mhm.
graduated, do you mean from like a college or an institute, or do you mean from the internship itself
So you have to have not graduated from your college by the time the internship's over to
for
be
DH
eligible. Does that make sense?
to be eligible for an internship period?
For the
No.
DHA type of internship. So the
Okay, so
DHA is a direct hiring authority, and you have to be a student. And you can be a student in an undergrad or a master's or a PhD. It doesn't matter. You just have to be a student by the time that the internship would be over. So if it says the internship starts May 18th and it ends like August 7th, you have to still be a student enrolled in a university.
right. And so if someone had graduated college already, they're fine for the PLC position.
Right. Yes.
Okay, not the
Yes.
DHA.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. And I think that was the only question. Okay. Do you want me to talk about this one, Catherine? Okay.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, the Fish and Feathers internship program focuses on engaging the communities near a national park in both fishing and birding activities. So it's a really fun, if you love people and you love talking, this internship's for you. You don't have to know how to bird or fish to apply. You just have to want to do it and be excited about it and passionate. So there is a training at the beginning of this internship. This is an entry-level position, and during the training, which happens on the first week in Estes Park, Colorado, Rocky Mountain National Park, we will teach you the basics of fishing and birding so that every intern in the program has that basis knowledge. And then you go off to your parks and you do programs. Each site might already have certain programs established and other ones that they want the intern to develop more. So that will depend by the site. We will have 24 positions available, and starts May 11th through July 31st. And that internship training is required. If you can't attend the training, then you can't participate in the program. The only exception would be if you are like already great at both fishing and birding and don't need either of those skills. But even then, it's such a nice time to meet the other interns in the cohort. That's it.
Yeah, that's a fun program. Accessible birding.
This one is similar to Fish and Feathers in that it's an entry-level position, and it also happens at national parks, but this one's just focused on birding, and birding programs. And the special thing about this program is that it focuses on engaging people with disabilities. So this is a partnership between National Park Service, us, and Birdability, which is a nonprofit organization whose entire mission is to engage people with different disabilities in birding. So this position is um, it's actually just 12 weeks long, not 20. It says 12 to 20 here, just 12. And we only have 6 positions that we're running in 2026. Um, and actually, yeah, these last little bullets are, we need to add them, but it's $640 a week. Um, and this one also does the same training that Fish and Feathers does at the same time, but just without the fishing part, all birds. I think that's all.
Oh, I could talk about these ones. These programs are for graduates, right? They're 5 months or longer. And we call them our single placement programs. Um, One is like we were talking about the Yaquina Head. Also, there is Monarch Research and Education positions. These are on military installations, and priority is given to uh, veterans or spouses or dependents of veterans. Any other details on monarchs?
That seems
Okay. Oh, now they got a whole slide. Yes. So they have 2 seasons, the spring season, which is what they're hiring for currently, and then a fall season. Um, Compensation 650 weekly, mostly military bases in Texas, and then Colorado, California, New Mexico. Okay. And now we're just repeating things. Uh, Single placement, I can tell you that the one at Yaquina Head is paying 650 weekly. Um, and I do believe you need to have some Spanish language proficiency for this position as well.
it's preferred, but
It's
it's
preferred.
I
It's
would say
highly
getting
preferred.
into it still apply.
And they also get to attend the training at Rocky Mountain National Park. Housing is provided. It's 24 weeks. Okay. Okay. Questions as we wrap it up.
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, hey, Aries.
Hello, hello. Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Nice to see you. First off, I just want to say my apologies for my lateness. In the email, it did say it start at 4, and then as I was doing finishing up my application processes, I was waiting until then. Someone told me to double check it, and it said it was starting already, and I was like, oh. So I know I missed like the whole like introduction of everything, but if you don't mind, do you mind going over a little bit of what I had missed? I know it was probably like 30 minutes in, or just like a brief summary.
Well, this is our webinar series, and this one is going over the application, which you are
Oh,
very familiar with, right? Because you have filled
yes.
out an application and have successfully received a position.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
And
Yeah.
so we're basically talking about the current positions that we're recruiting for the
Ah,
summertime.
okay.
Yeah, and so it's like a lot of other people trying to get their position, and we're just was telling them how to stand out in their application. Actually, do you have any suggestions for folks since you recently snagged a job?
Um,
Yes,
dang.
for those of you that don't know, Aries was just selected to participate in the Golden Gate Recreation internship program that's starting next month.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Oh, yeah, so Sorry, I got put on the spot a little bit, but I guess I'll go ahead and speak about it a little bit throughout my process thus far. Um, I would just say, just like, how can I go about this? I don't know, I've just been really excited about the whole process. So, like throughout my process, I just was really engaged and try to immerse myself with as much knowledge before, like speaking with the interview or the interview that I maybe have an interview with. Like I'll probably do like look into the projects or something that they've like did and stuff. So it could be a little bit something to talk about and you. Um, and yeah, like sorry, I'm a little
No,
slowly
I
right
think
now.
that's good. I mean, I feel like that's exciting.
No.
Paid off. Like,
And
Yeah.
that's the truth because I interviewed you and you were very well versed with the position. That was
Hmm.
good. You was able to connect your transferable skills very well. You had a lot of enthusiasm and you had really good references. So,
Thank you. Indeed, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, and that was another thing that like my last semester at Chico State, because this is like the last portion that I need for me to have a bachelor's degree. So throughout like my last like times at Chico State, like I was really trying to like make a lot of connections and get a lot of experience within like this work field in forestry or conservation, if you will. Um, so I could prepare myself, set myself up for
Oh
we
yeah, you
lost,
cut out. Yeah.
we
yeah.
lost Aries.
We lost
That's
you.
okay.
But that was good. But that was good. Anybody else have a question that we could address before we get out of here? We want to answer all your questions.
I do have a question. As far as like um being how say if you're someone who I think a lot of the positions that are available, I don't think there will be a lot of positions where I'm located. Like how much is that taken into account? And then like for relocation, how is that typically handled?
Okay.
Most of these positions are, summer positions, and we pay for you to get to the site and get back home. Where, if you need to fly out, you don't need to bring your personal car. We are paying for that flight, a couple of bags. We're gonna get you together. If you're bringing your vehicle, we will help you map out a safe route to get to the site. We will reimburse you for your mileage. If it's a very long journey and you need to take a break in there and spend a night somewhere, we will book or pay for safe lodging to get you there. So we take care of that and
Mhm.
Thank
getting you to the site and getting you back home.
Oh,
Okay, thank you so
Catherine,
much, Catherine.
can I jump in with the position descriptions say if a car is required for the position or recommended. Um, Let us know if you don't have a car for the position because some of these parks are remote or huge. And if you don't have a car, it will be very difficult to move around. And we've had interns that say, "Oh, I'll manage. I'll figure it out," and then it's hard. It's very hard to get people to get you from the housing or take you to grocery shopping. It's really hard. So make sure that you read that position description and apply to those positions. If you have a car, then the required car is no problem if you're driving to the site. But if you're flying, and I say this because I'm from Puerto Rico and Patricia, right here in the webinar, she's from Puerto Rico too. She wouldn't have a car, so she needs to look at those PDs and see. And if the car is required, then no, that position is not for somebody that's flying into the site.
Thank you so much. I
Right.
appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of our public lands are in remote, beautiful locations, but could be an hour to get to groceries, right? So you want to take that into consideration and bring your personal vehicle if that's needed. But some of these are urban parks and you can navigate on public transportation. But either or, we will pay for you to get to the site.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other questions?
I do
Elizabeth,
have a question.
Diego? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to you, Elizabeth.
Okay. So, hello everybody. My name is Diego. I'm also from Puerto Rico. So hi to my fellow Puerto Ricans. I heard you say, Catherine, that you guys offer a lot of summer internships. Um, are there more, sorry, um, fall opportunities?
So we have opportunities year round. We do this career fair because it's like our official beginning of the season. So it'll be a lot of positions that are available like now in January, February in preparation for the summer. But as they come up, like even the position that I'm recruiting for at Yaquina Head, it's 24 weeks. So although it starts in the spring, it doesn't end until the fall. And then, different positions have different clocks. So I don't just know of a program that's going to start in like September, but I know something starts in September, October, November,
Okay.
you know,
Thank
like that.
thank you very much. And thank you so
Yeah.
much for this webinar. It's been really nice.
Hey, we're so happy it's useful. Okay, Elizabeth.
Yes, back to Rod's question earlier about transportation. Um, I assume through the process of getting hired for the internship, right? And let's say I'm driving and it's getting late and I need a hotel. I assume like we would talk to whomever addressed us with the internship about getting a hotel, I assume. Like
But
I
it
don't
will
know.
not be last minute. Actually, when you get hired and we start planning, we're going to talk to you at that time and we're going to say, where are you coming from? Where do you live, Elizabeth?
I actually just moved to Florida. I was in New Jersey
Okay.
for
Okay, so you're in Florida and say you want to do this beautiful thing that we have going on in Oregon. It's going to take you 3 days to get there because we don't want you driving 10, 12, 16 hours, even though you're young and you believe you can. No, we want you,
I got my
we're going to divide
I
that into, yes, no, no, no. We're going to say,
know,
nah,
yeah, absolutely.
by 8 hours, we're gonna need you to get off the road. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Leave in the morning. Check in time is at 3. Get off the road. Check in. We're gonna say, we're gonna here, this is a nice safe. We're gonna do this beforehand. So you're not in the middle of nowhere on I-40, which is the most dangerous highway known, full of serial killers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure that
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stop in well-lit areas, uh safe spots for young people to get a room, and we're going to have that pre-planned. So you
Gotcha.
can't, so you can't say, you know what, I feel good, I can drive 5 more hours. No, you're going to stop because you have a hotel booked for Wednesday night.
All right. Thank you so much, Catherine.
You're welcome. Any other questions? See, this is a good time to ask your questions. Don't get off the webinar and say,
Patricia has a
dang,
question.
okay, great.
Hi, I'm Patricia. Let me introduce myself again from Puerto Rico. I just had a question regarding I has a question now. It was regarding, for example, what if I were to take a course in ecology from January to May, but I will apply to a summer internship? I could say that in the application, or I could say that in the interview, like it is very relevant, or should it be something that I should have done previously, or I don't know.
Your in process coursework is relevant. So you're in process. You're working on this right now. So that's relevant.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I also had another question regarding the application, just like a clarifying question.
Okay.
Because I know some of them are like working with MPS or the National Park Service. And I guess I will introduce myself too. My name is Rod Fortis. I'm from California. Um, and my question is the standard for your guys's environmental, like for like EFTA, is it like the fed, are we using like for best practice using like the federal resume? Or
Use what you have. Make sure your resume is tailored to the position. My suggestion, I have received a lot of um, resumes, and people had maybe dog walking and something, but it had a bunch of previous experience, but it still wasn't tailored to the position. It was just the resume that they made in ninth grade and they kept using it. So you don't need a 15 page. The expectation is not a 15 page. Even the federal resume is now making lots of adjustments. Tailor it to the position. Give me something that is, useful. But I don't think it needs to be longer than 2 pages.
okay,
Yes.
cool. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I have I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted to
So,
just add on the resume aspect. Like from my experience and what I've learned as far as like resume is like having an e-portfolio of like every single thing that you've ever done, every job, every volunteer engagement, community stuff, all that type of stuff. You have your e-portfolio of everything. And then whatever job that you're applying to, whether it's this job or whatever job, you go back to your e-portfolio and you have like a resume template, and that's your template that you use for every single job that you have. But every single job that you apply for, you don't have to have every single job on there. And like she said, like all resumes have to be 2 pages. So you have your resume template, and then you just copy and paste whatever job that you're applying for that corresponds with the job that you're, applying for, as well as your volunteer engagements, community services, like all those type of things as well. Yeah, as far as that, sorry, but that was like a real big thing for me in like resumes when I was like applying for jobs and I actually had a class as far as like preparing for like internships and like jobs and stuff, which was really, really useful. And I've had a lot of success afterwards. But just making sure like you have an e-portfolio of everything that you've ever done. Like you may have something that you forgot you did, but like, it could be relevant to a job that you're applying for, or whatever the case. But just having an e-portfolio of everything that you've ever done and just keep adding to it. But then when you apply to whatever job that you're applying to currently or at the time, that's when you just readjust your resume with that resume template that you have and just copy and paste. Yes, sir.
yeah, I just heard that at a resume thing that somebody has a loan, and then that's how they easily tailor to the
Mhm.
different jobs they may apply to. It's good advice.
Indeed. Indeed, every resume to every job is corresponds to that job. It's never every resume that you apply. Say you have five jobs you're applying to, all have to correspond with that job. Do 5 jobs and you do one resume, you send them all the same. It's kind of weighing it off a little bit, but think of it this way, 20 jobs, 5 jobs, 20 different resumes, 5 different resumes. You get me? But you have your e-portfolio though, so you're not, it's just copy and pasting. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I think this one, oh yeah, this one won't work. Let me take that one out, put this one on there. Again, your volunteer, community services, etc.
Okay. All right. Now, any other questions? I don't want to miss anybody. Okay.
I would
Well,
like
this
to
has been great. Oh,
oh,
is
I'm
it
sorry.
Amaya?
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
I will say I do have a picture of my I'm currently at the gym right now, so I was like, I don't want to miss it, but I would like to
Okay,
add in
for sure.
one last question if you guys wouldn't mind as well. And then my main question would be, if picked, what happens after the internship, after we've reached the final? What can we expect after?
Hmm. Um, I don't know. Congratulations and thanks. No, I'm kidding. So it depends on the position. It depends on the position.
Okay.
A lot of the positions, depending on if you just got like a summer position, when it's over, we send you home. No, for real. I think my answer is congratulations and thanks. Unless the position was like a public land corps, then you may have received enough hours to
Mm,
complete that authority that you can use for applying for federal jobs. Is Shelda still on here? Shelda, are you
mm.
still here?
I am. I am chatting with a few because
Okay,
David
well,
Green applied to Mosaics in the past, so I'm chatting him up.
okay, well, so Amaya is asking about things that can happen at the end, and I don't have a lot of positions that have done public land court authority, but I do have some that
Yes.
have received the
hmm
direct hiring authority.
So
Um,
with PLC, and now they're using regional coordinators that will receive your PLC paperwork and all those keywords in your project description, like conservation of resources. Well, that's another program, but public facing visitor services. Those keywords will go into your PLC paperwork. And when a hiring manager needs somebody that has experience with visitor services, your name will actually pop up. And we get an email saying, we have a position that is a hiring authority, PLC. Can you send me candidates? And we can send candidates, or they can look you up in their database on their own. We are just a manager of your transcript and resume after you're done. But if they come back to us with positions, we will let you know that they are hiring, or they can find you on their database. So it's a really great, both hiring authorities are great. DHA is direct hire, so they also contact us and say, I'm looking for somebody that has this specific experience, and I can send them 3 resumes and they will interview those 3 people. So like I said, EFTA is somebody that can help you get that job in the future. So we need to have your, not your school email, your permanent email, so that if that comes along and a year and a half after you finish the internship, because DHA is valid 2 years after you graduate. So if you did your internship while you were a student and you graduated a year after that, that's 3 years that I need to get a hold of you in 3 years or before that. So we really need that updated information. And we do keep in touch with a lot of it. Like right now, I'm talking to David because he made it to the top applicant. So I'm telling him, hey, your application is great. Keep it up, add all that you had, and I'll keep an eye out for that one. So we do remember and keep in touch.
and then you become alumni. So we reach out and when we need somebody to talk about their experience. Our last webinar was previous interns who successfully completed it, and we wanted them to share about their experience. But that's basically it. We'll send you a 1099 and you file your taxes.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where are you in your college career? Are you a rising sophomore, junior, senior? Where are you at?
I'm currently a freshman right now, and I currently go to a community college. And then I'm hoping over the summer I can go ahead and get more experience as well. I want to add more depth into when I actually fill out my application. But I feel like I'm at a good point in my life to really start getting more experience and everything. And then finally taking control of myself, if that makes sense. Like I'm just like so excited at the moment. Like it's just all new to me. And I actually found you guys when I was spending hours online skimming through looking for potential internships that would align. I'm currently going for my animal science degree as well. And then in the future, I would like to pursue education in zoology. So I really love exotics and being hands on with large animals and exotics as well. But at the moment, I feel because I'm in the Midwest and Southern Illinois, it's mainly ag. So, like farm animals and everything, or
Right,
dogs
right,
and
right.
cats. So, like, there's not really a lot, like the SIU area, there really is not a lot of internships or hands-on experience like that outside of agriculture. And I
That's
also,
pretty cool. Like
yeah,
our Fish and Feathers program, I would highly recommend it for somebody so early in their internship journey. You don't have to already come with a lot of experience, and they're everywhere. It could get you out of the local area, do some things. Mm. They said they'll be listed by Friday.
that is perfect. Definitely. I cannot wait.
Now, before I say it's been great, is there anybody else? Because I want all the questions answered before we go. Wait, somebody said something in the chat. One more question. Okay, come with your questions about after the internship.
All right, so this is the last one. I know everybody probably got a lot of stuff they got to do. Again, sorry for my lateness, but I would also like to add or ask a question about after the internship. Like, say somebody like myself that's, planning to do a master's degree, a master's program and stuff, which is internship would be essential on like my resume and pursuing that. Like I've always wanted to do abroad and stuff, and like I want to plan on doing my master's abroad after or whenever that time comes. How does that go about, or as far as like doing like conservation abroad or anything of that sort?
Currently, I mean, we do have a entire Caribbean team. However, we only have one international internship opportunity. But with anything that you're doing, Aries, it's your network. You have to continue to network and network because you just don't know what else is available. I don't have a lead on an international opportunity at this moment,
Hmm.
but you just tell people what you're interested in and show up in excellence, and you tend to attract it. So.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Okay. Oh, Shelter, you're gone. Okay, okay. Yeah, it is 12 after the hour. If y'all have any further questions, you can reach us at our email. Did Shelter already leave? What's the
No,
email?
ma'am.
Can
Okay,
you put the
so
email in the chat?
I can. So there are a few emails, but I think internships. I'm not sure if it's with S internship.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
internships is the best one, and the person in internships will forward it to either LHIP or Fish and Feathers, or myself. It's Fish and Wildlife.
America.
So we
Got
will
it.
go into the internships email. Oh yeah, so bad with the typing and the.
No, I got it. I got internships, right? Let's see. Everyone. There you go. It's been a
There you
great
go.
one. We have another one. What's our next one? I don't know what the next one is.
It's this is the last one for December, and the next one is in January.
Okay. So if you're here tonight, you will get an email. Check
Mm-hmm.
the website for the recording.
Mm-hmm.